coming out. Cold morning here, even though it's spring. Welcome to Harmon Golf. My name is Tom Kavicki. We're proud to have the Education Summit here. We've got a wonderful crowd. We've got almost 85 participants, and it's only going to be crowded like this for the first, say, 25, 30 minutes, and then we're going to break you up into 4 groups. So you'll get a very intimate look at 4 types of technology today, which Mike will introduce in a couple of minutes here. We did it this way because we felt like we wanted to have, one, the presenters get a better chance to know you, and we wanted you to have the opportunity to ask the questions you needed to ask during the presentation. So smaller groups, we thought that would be possible. So this is a little bit of an experimentation on our part. We'd like some feedback.
Thanks, Tom. We're very excited to have Tom as our education chair of the New England section, and he and I sat down a couple of weeks ago and said, you know, let's talk about doing something different, something fresh. And we've had speakers come, and we've had the stadium seating. You could ask questions, but we thought if we could bring in 4 presenters, if we could break it up into small groups of 20, make it a little bit more intimate, have a little bit more one-on-one time with the presenters, be able to ask some questions and really get into it on that intimate level. We thought that would be interesting. We thought it'd be fun. We thought it'd be exciting. So that was how this all came together. So we're very, very excited about this. It's going to be like, without the bell sounding in between classes, it's going to be like high school again. We've got 45 minutes, and we're going to move from room to room. But real quick, I just want to introduce our presenters and our sponsors today. From Ping, we're really excited. Ping's a sponsor of the Teaching Summit, as well as sponsors of our section. So Shannon Johnson and Leanna Wicks, we're very excited to have them here today. We're going to be speaking about in-flight motion, in-flight mobile, and iPing putting app instruction. So they're going to be in this room. FlightScope is also a sponsor of the section, and the Teaching Summit here. We have David Nel, all the way up from Orlando. So David, thanks for being here. It's a little bit colder than you're used to, but FlightScope's going to be talking about the 3D Doppler radar, and utilizing it and using it in your instruction. So we're very excited about that. Tony Morgan is a PGA professional here. He's a member of the New Hampshire chapter. We figured that out this morning, and he's going to be talking about KVEX and utilizing KVEX technology in your instruction. And then the Quintic ball roll system. Jim MacKay is here. He's a co-founder. Jim, welcome. Jim and I worked together when we had the section championship at Concord. He used to work at Concord Country Club. Very happy to have him here and talking about utilizing in your putting in your instruction. Orange Whip. We're very excited to have them here. They're a sponsor. They're going to kick off the summit here. Dan Soltis is a PGA member from the Met section. He came up all the way up here. He's our local rep in this area. And then Jim Hackenberg. Jim is the founder and the creator of Orange Whip. He was a member of our section. Was an island guy working on Farmers Vineyard for many years. Jim and I became good friends. He would always call when I was the tournament director, asking for special treatment, around ferry schedules and flight schedules. So we got to know each other very, very well. So what we're going to do is they're going to kick it off for 15 or 20 minutes, and then Jim's going to announce how we're going to break it up, and you're going to take your chairs with you, so we can use your chairs when you into the group. So without further ado, welcome everybody. We're really looking forward to presenting today. Definitely be interactive, ask questions. They want you to ask questions, and be a part of the day. So thanks for coming. We really appreciate it. Jim, Dan, take over. Thanks, guys.
Great to see that it works. And that became my mantra. That became everything I thought about. So I started to try to teach that way to my students, but the message wasn't getting across. So in a little shed next to the driving range on Martha's Vineyard, I started building orange whips. I was using fishing rods. I was using doorknobs with weight in it for the counterbalance. I was using lead washers on the other end. So I had all these experiments. And it was really just to get this point across. I was trying to get this idea that if you can learn to swing in a rhythm and keep your balance, golf will become a lot easier. So messing around in that shed, I started to make prototypes. And I would bring them out during my golf lessons. And during my lessons, we'd warm up with it. I'd get them loose, I'd get them swinging, and we'd have a great lesson. And they'd start to say to me, hey, Jim, can I buy this thing from you? And that's kind of when the light bulb went off. So I went into full gear to start making an actual product.
A little bit more educational and just talk a little bit about technology on the lesson tee. That will include, and obviously I'm going to focus on radar, since that's where my expertise is, in how can we use radar to, enhance what we're doing on the lesson tee. That will include upfitting, teaching, training, and benchmarking your students. And so, let's start off with this technology. It's phased array Doppler radar. So basically, what will happen is we have an antenna inside of this radar that will radiate microwaves in a Doppler field. That's about a 20-degree Doppler field. And anything that moves in this Doppler field will reflect back those signals to our microwave panel, so we can pick up exactly where in time and space
I really want to show today the value of using technology very simply in your lesson programs. One of the things about KVEST that I think sometimes people maybe equate it to that are familiar with it is it's for the better player. Like Jim was talking about earlier, we're getting into sequence and timing, and we're going to go through some of that today. But there's so many very important fundamentals that you can use the system for, whether you're working with a 30 handicap or a 12 handicapper or a tour player. So what I'd like to do today is just really, let's get in the system, capture some data. Let's talk about ball flight. Let's talk about things that we're trying to work on, and more importantly, get into a training mode where we can actually start using the technology to change some patterns.
Now, do you find that putting that on the putter shaft throws the weight of the putter off?
It can, depending on where you put it. So we recommend that if you put it closer to the grip, sometimes it'll kind of overhang. It actually doesn't throw the swing weight crazy off. It'll definitely feel a little heavier. That's why a lot of pros have gotten the iPod, just because it is lighter than like a phone. So, but it really, I don't think it changes a whole lot. You're probably the same. Yeah. So.
Right. On an uphill surface, I'm sure he's probably correct. On the downhill surface, I question that at 3 degrees because of the amount of overspin. And again, look, if I have a Scotty Cameron, that, not a deep milled face, that's not going to have as much gripping effect as, say, a TaylorMade or a Yes or one of those others. So, okay, with the Scotty Cameron, maybe he gets off so that there isn't a lot of there's some overspin, but not a tremendous amount. But if I put a Rife in there or a Yes or something like that and do the exact same thing, I may double the RPMs, in which case the ball runs away on a downhill.